Oh, I've just been asked a question. Hold on. Okay. Okay. What was I doing? I don't remember. You know what? Let's get some XP, baby.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
I did not. Clever. I don't know if you... The ads might be happening. I don't know. They never tell me anything. Okay. That is, I assume, a Library of Ruina thing. Oh, so it's like Amazon. He's like an Amazon type guy. Yeah. You're talking about the new ego. Does it have friendly fire? If it has friendly fire, I'm gonna save and pull for it. I love friendly fire. Oh! I'm so excited. Okay, no, that's gonna be awesome. Hold on, let me look at this. Okay. What level is this? This is the 3rd level? Oh, wait, it kills you when you use it? That looks super cool. I did not see the trailer. I generally don't look at trailers. Because so YouTube kept recommending me like spoilers from the Limbus Company Project Moon YouTube channel. So I had to block it. But I mean, it goes on an identity we're already using. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting.
소란이 줄었네요.
끝인가? 정말 한 톨도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서 이 분노가
All right.
끝나지? 거지?
Well, if that's gonna happen, I'm gonna save for that then. I'm actually not. I'm gonna actually save for something. Okay, whatever is happening. Okay, we can do 6 battles. Do you count friendly fire if it only hurts self? I think... we could... So I could skip this. And then we could just go back. Yeah, let's skip it, and it gets us out of the level. And then this one. What, only 5? What is this? Oh, I did level up my Wild Hunt and Ryoshu. Yeah, I did I did, so I'll actually show you. Because it won't take long. I actually got a little bit in to hard mode. And that's why I leveled up my guys. And I'm hoping to do the hard mode boss with Wild Hunt and Red Eye Penitence and whatnot. Yeah, I have been looking, and no one has been equipping the new things, the egos. hold on. Wait, I already have the Otis ones. Oh, right, and I don't want to use the Heathcliff one because I already have my Heathcliff. Yeah. And I mean, it's fine, right? It's just like, damn. I mean, I guess I could use your Wild Hunt. But I'm not going to. Okay, Wild Hunt. You.
쑤셔 넣어주죠. 이거 참 설레는.
I mean, I'm sure the battle isn't long. Ah. Whoa, how are these green lights still green? Another unexpected alarm, but we all remarked with measured astonishment, as we'd all grown rather used to the randomness of it all. It is unlikely that it has completely evaded the influence of T-Corp's singularity. However, it can be said that this partial retention of color can be attributed to the fact that Walpurgis Night is a transitory moment in which numerous possibilities coincide. Faust nonchalantly walking up to the driver's seat and shutting off the alarm. Lo, 'tis returned, the whatever. Don Quixote and her eyes that begin twinkling at the smallest bit of diversion after a long period of idle standby. It's all become part of the routine. Even mysterious things like these Walpurgis nights. Oh, an additional volatility aside from the Walpurgis night has been detected. An additional volatility? Indeed, the entrance to a new mirror dungeon has opened. Oh yeah, that. Heathcliff mutters quietly as he rises from his seat. I thought it was about time a new one popped up. Happens every time we go through the bloody ringer. Didn't expect it to appear with the green flashes, though. Heathcliff tightly struck the end of his club against the floor in visible anticipation. The word that was once engraved into his club had changed. Ooh! Wait. I didn't even notice. A few days ago, I saw him sitting at the back of the bus, busily sanding and carving something into his club. I assume this is why you wanted me to watch this. I didn't have to ask to know what he meant by that new word, so I think Clever, I think what's funny is if you hadn't pointed it out, or if you hadn't had me watch this, I don't think I would have noticed. Maybe I would have. I don't know. I decided not to bring it up to anyone else. Only Heathcliff and I retain that memory after all. Thought I was going mad from tedium. Come on, let's go bash some sods. How nice. I like seeing some initiative from the sitters, Miss Faust. Indeed. Let us move without delay. Dante, bring us to the corridor past the back door. Trying my best to shake this odd, uncomfortable feeling that Heathcliff's newfound enthusiasm didn't come off as entirely optimistic, I led the sinners to the back door. 2 types of doors at once, huh? 2 new sets of doors, just as Faust had predicted. One set of doors... Okay, that's the mirror dungeon. I know that one. And that one's the Walpurgis Night event. And I don't know what this one is. The other set of doors was... Are these papers? It's all sparkly. There's an unfamiliar door radiating with an odd gleam of light. Technically, we did see the... Ah, okay. Weird radio frequency like squiggly lines around the door before, but everything else about it was new. I guess this one doesn't connect to the Lobotomy Corporation like the last one did. Weird. I think I'm hearing... Is that jazz? Oi, is this even a door? It's more like a window than a door, isn't it? Right. This new entrance definitely resembled a large window rather than a door. The window was blurry, and all I could see past it were some globs of shapes moving about. There appear to be several shambling entities past the entrance. Faust seemed to have realized something, but she didn't tell us what it was. Instead, she merely looked in my direction without saying a word. I'm starting to get what she means by that look. Guess I'll have to get in there to see what this is all about, right, Faust? You are experiencing regular growth and capabilities. Faust considers this to be a positive development. She's like, damn, okay, you actually understood the words that I said. Congratulations. All right, I'll watch the rest of this later. Oh, this is a fight? Yeah. Is that Fairy Longlegs related? Hate that guy. I remember the time-killing time thing was when I was getting back into the game over the summer. That was what event was happening. Oh, right. I completely forgot. Hee. Don Quixote loudly and obnoxiously flaps through the newspaper. I thought she had McDonald's. I heard paper rustling and Don Quixote like being happy, so I thought, it's McDonald's. Agatha Christie. Oh, that's true. Don Quixote loudly and obnoxiously flaps through the newspaper in her hands while peppering in a few insightful chuckles. Oh, is this a mystery? A murder mystery? Unfortunately, I now know exactly what this means. And that she will continue to try to draw my attention until I acknowledge her at the most appropriate moment. Okay, Don Quixote, fine. What is it? Manager Esquire, dost thou know that the city's upstart companies, such as one Olympus Company, must always pay close heed to the ever-changing world around us? Hie thee hither, read thy newspapers, Manager Esquire, and do keep thyself up to date on the events of the city, as Marceau and I, Don Quixote, do air every morrow. But just go along with it, why don't you? I'm pretty sure she's talking about Marceau and one of his morning routines, you know, the one with the newspapers. The newspaper routine, where he wakes up before the crack of dawn, parks himself on a chair, folds one leg over the other, in an exact 90-degree figure 4 leg lock position, and peruses the morning newspaper. I feel like I'm about to read out an ad read. But now, first, a word from our sponsor, NordVPN. I guess it left an impression on her. Betcha she'll be back to her usual self in a week or so. Hearken unto me, art thou paying attention? Yeah, totally. So, what's new? What, did an article mention us or something? Oh, how didst thou know? Wait, really? Forsooth, feast thy eyes on page 3, though 'tis quite regrettable that we were robbed of the chance to be on the front page. Huh? Page 3? We're really starting to put our names out there, huh? Don Quixote and Rogia, the two sinners guaranteed to draw the full attention of whichever space they inhabit, were speaking. It was only a matter of time before the other sinners began crowding around us, curious about the commotion. A dramatic conclusion to the mysterious disappearances at T-Corp. Shocking! The perpetrators to this case have been revealed to be none other than the prestigious Edgar family, appalling the general public. Well, I don't think we need to hear that part. What else does it say? With small assistance from some wandering bystanders who happen to be lost in the area, and with the most admirable heroics of the T-Corp Class 3 collection staff on the scene. Wandering bystanders, is it? Perchance that particular denomination refers to us? Bystanders? They're treating us like we were barely there. Stolen valor. They didn't even mention our company name. Oh, come on. Those time collectors weren't even there. This is within the expected range of behavior for the news media. I love you, Merso. Please never stop being... Well, there may be those who seek to interview us after reading this very article, mayhaps. Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a grand old time looking for wandering bystanders for an interview. Very descriptive. I doubt anyone will pay as much attention, Don Quixote. Better not set yourself up for disappointment. We were standing there for a good moment in a big group chattering about the article when someone slowly but smoothly walked between us. Excuse me, are you Limbus Company employees by any chance? You fellas are... I'm sure you're already aware of the reason for our visit. Oh, I welcome thee here. Well, long and hard have I awaited thy arrival. Now, from whence shall we begin? Whoa, is she actually here to interview us? Wait, there's a streamer guy? No way. He's literally me. Oh, hey, Don Quixote wasn't just losing her mind at nothing? Ah, okay. I was not told that any interview would be taking place. That's really funny. My word, Verko, at a time like this. No, where'd I put that leftover hair gel from Heat's makeover? Thou may commence. Alright then, you're being accused of murder. Verily, I shan't readily take all the credit for what have accomplished there. Will you be making your tax payment in installments? Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, I understand. The first one was Don Quixote. The second one was asking for tax money. The guy. We are tax collectors from T Corp's Time Collections Agency, currently on a mission to collect your overdue time tax. Those ilks are never bringers of good tidings indeed. Wait, time tax? No, that doesn't make any sense. We already paid our time tax in full when we went through the T Corp Nest immigration process, Virgilius said. Are you sure we don't need to pick up a timepiece for each of us to carry? You probably know this already, but in T Corp, everyone must carry a timepiece, yes. I know the rules. But for every rule, there's always room for an alternative that offers a bit more flexibility. Of course, I don't suppose it's listed anywhere on the pamphlet. Outsiders seeking a short-term stay at T Corp can pay the appropriate time tax for the length of their stay to be exempt from the relevant obligations, instead of going out of their way to abide by T Corp's rules. As you may have expected, anyone born outside District 20 must go through numerous hoops before they can be issued a timepiece. So we elected to pay 30 days worth of time tax on the spot before entering T Corp's borders. Impressive. It can't have been cheap. Ah, yet I wish to wear a watch as well, like Lady Otis does. Haven't I already made it clear that it is not a fashion item? As I have said in the past, the company has no budgetary concerns. I love the phrase, we have no budgetary concerns. Man, it is a given that they would be taking care of such expenses. What if the head is just like, we're like gonna start another company? I don't know, maybe some like big corporation is like, we're gonna have like an offshoot company so that we can like insulate ourselves from the losses. I don't know, but like it feels like they have a lot of budget And like a lot of yeah. But like it feels like I don't know, they don't tell us anything though. So really it could be anything. No one knows. I like that so much. The mystery of this game is what does the company we're working for even do? Like, they just don't tell us anything. It's really funny. Yeah, there must have been a minor miscalculation or something. Maybe we fell slightly short of the amount we had to pay. It hasn't even been 30 days since we arrived here, though. Yeah. Well, it's like some company that wants something, and they're at odds with N Corp. It wouldn't be... Yeah, it's like some... Maybe they are just... Like, but how would they get that much money? Well, I'm sure we can pawn away their stuff to fix whatever probably amounts to a rounding error. Easy peasy. Oh, I'm considering... is like, what if there's like some people who worked for Lobotomy Corporation and they were like, we can reclaim the tech, and that's explicitly not possible? Okay, well, don't let me cook then. Heathcliff muttered, gesturing towards Sinclair and Honglu with his chin. Why is that not possible? Is literally everyone who ever worked there dead? Oh, they've been banished. If it'll help pay for the time tax, then sure. Oh, maybe? I didn't pack much when I left, though. Well, let's hear the damage. How much time tax do we owe you? Currently you are... That's a lot of money, right? 10 trillion? No, 10 billion on behind the time tax payments. What? Did my hearing get worse or something? I heard a 10, a 40, and the rest just kind of flew over my head. For that much money, oh, we might have to take a brief stop at my place first. What other options do we have if we don't? I mean, if we can't pay the tax? Can't pay the tax is not an option. Your only options are the following. Make your payment with time or money. With interest, of course. How fucking rich is Honglu's family? They have, let's just put it this way. They have no budgetary concerns. Now that I think about it, I remember someone talking about paying with time before. Never really cared to find out what exactly they meant, though. Ye saying, Heathcliff? Know anything about this? I have not once failed to make my payments during my residency at this nest. Thus I know not what transpires on an occasion in which one fails to pay the time tax. I've never been involved in messy businesses like taxes at the manor either, and in my backstreet stays, boss dealt with complicated shite like that for the rest of us. I did see a few poor sods getting dragged away because they failed to cough it up, though. Well then. They're not so helpful answers. My mind immediately began to wander toward Faust, who I hoped would know something more about this than the two of them. That's when Otis suddenly and defiantly stood between us and the collectors. This is completely unreasonable. What kind of shoddy calculation led to this nonsensical figure? They let a fucking underflow error happen? That's funny. Tax calculations in T-Corp are always exceptionally reasonable. The clock's ticking. Would I be correct to assume that you lack both the capability and the will to make your fair payments? Wait. We don't have to escalate this. Can we get a timeout? Your choice of words may be quite unwise. Try and whine all you want about not wanting to escalate things, but you've got 10 billion on in your pockets. I won't recognize your opinion as anything of worth otherwise. She's literally just said cry about it. No? Then shut up and stay out of our way while we deal with this obstacle that dares to stand in our path. How exciting. A 10 billion on death. 10 billion and 40 million on, to be exact.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를
The ads
세우라.
are coming. The ads are coming. Oh my god. How snazzy.
점 찍었네.
Man, I can't believe these people lost their fucking clashes. Only losers lose their clashes. Alright, Heathcliff, you're not a loser. So you would never lose this clash. That is true. He is quite a bit above.
전투에 임하겠습니다.
그 오물을 떼어내주지.
Heathcliff, win your clash. Win your clash. Aw, Heathcliff, no. That's fine. Heathcliff has a billion health. Damn, if we had gotten Tails there.
두드려 패.
Okay. I looked more at the new Otis ego. The passive seems absolutely insane. Yeah, it looks insane with the ID. Oh, I didn't need to pause at all. It looks just absolutely nutty. Cause what does it do? It just you do more burn. And then you also do burn equal to magic bullet, but if you have a bunch of burn, it inflicts dark flame instead, which is just burn. Yeah. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. It's gonna go hard with hi. So I need to reread this, but what is this? The skill 3. So you don't want to build around one of these, you just want to build a team that does... Yeah. I'm just looking at, so you would want to build a team that inflicts all of these. That is true. Yeah, I have noticed with Rupture, it does not stay around. I've been here like for 4 seconds. Yeah. Well, it's just supposed to be... Yeah. A T-Corp staff in a different uniform approached the sinners as both sides went on the defensive. Is this one their ringleader? He may be of a higher rank, but he is but an employee of T-Corp all the same. Which is to say that our insistence on meeting their demands with hostility may lead to a direct confrontation against the full force of T-Corp. Lay down your weapons now. Should you refuse to cooperate, all you present may be considered hostile individuals by T-Corp, and we will use force to... I like that. How thrilling. Ryoshu, chill out. This is bad. This seems like a great time for Virgilius with his intimidating glowing eyes to appear. Man, weren't things much better between us and the guide but only a few days ago? Feels like it's been forever since then. Come on, don't glare at us like that. We had our reasons, Kay. They showed up out of nowhere and tried to extort a whole 10 billion on. 10 billion and 40 million on, to be exact. Shut up, dude. You really like saying that, don't you? Jeez. Yeah, the point is, there's no way we'd owe them that much money. We're kind, law-abiding citizens who are brimming with a sense of justice. Hear, hear. Virgilius listened quietly for a moment as the sinners chattered on like they were part of a comedy skit. Yes, I agree that 10 billion on in taxes does seem unreasonable. However, it is a mystery to me how no one stopped to think for a second about the troubles you might spark by starting a meaningless scuffle like this, in the middle of the street, no less. Virgilius let out a deep sigh before turning toward the T-Corp employee. Actually... Nerd emoji. You find it regrettable that this incident has led to bloodshed. However, 10 billion on in time tax is unacceptable. I'm sure you know that full well that 10 billion on's worth of tax isn't the kind of money that we can simply fork over in the middle of the street. I believe that it would have been more appropriate if you had provided us with some context as to how this number came to be, instead of immediately marching up to us and demanding that we pay the time tax. I admit that such an absurd amount of time tax levied upon your group is almost unprecedented. We have been summoned to an emergency meeting in a relevant office to address the severity of this incident. I see your point. Why don't we move this conversation to the collections office in the relevant jurisdiction area for now to discuss possible solutions? Oh my god, these fucking guys and their spreadsheets.
털도 남지 않았나? 그렇다면 어째서 이 분노가
Why does this have a special icon? The truth behind the absurd amount of time tax levied upon us was much simpler than I expected. About a week ago, a large-scale unauthorized temporal leakage phenomenon was observed at the Wuthering Heights Manor, which shot you up several stages in the progressive time use tax bracket due to the immense amount of time leak. Oh, it's Dante, what the hell? A temporal leakage phenomenon. It refers to a deceleration in the flow of time within a certain physical field. In your case, it wasn't even a static deceleration field. It moved all over the manor for a good while, too. We measured for about 4 hours worth of time in the process. What the bloody hell is she blathering about? A deceleration in the flow of time within a certain... Ah. She must be referring to the moment during which Dante granted us celerity. Celerity is a good word, as we were in pursuit of that man at the manor. Impossible. The manager's ability was activated for less than 30 minutes. It is most likely that your 4-hour measurement is a calculation error. Ah, no. Considering the odd sensation we had experienced as we departed the manor, it is most probable that no error had occurred in their calculations. Do you recall, Dante? As we left the manor... Aha, Merceau, is there aught wrong with thy daily routine? We had just returned to Mephistopheles after the incident at the Wuthering Heights Manor. Most sinners were keeping to themselves, given the clear look of sorrow on Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote's ever-cheerful voice, like always, constantly shattered through the silence. I have identified an anomaly. We should have been issued the morning newspaper, not the evening newspaper. This is inconsistent with the amount of time we spent at the manor. Perchance 'twas an innocent mistake? As long as I have been a passenger of this bus, morning papers have always been delivered during designated morning hours, and evening papers have always been delivered during designated evening hours. The possibility that they have made a mistake cannot be completely ruled out. However, the likelihood of that is minuscule. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, that's a sunset, not a sunrise. I couldn't tell because of the lack of color. This cannot be! This must be the early hours of the morrow, is it not? I may have an idea as to how this inconsistency came to be. Right, the TT4 protocol. What's that? Temporal velocity synchronization device, or something like that. I've seen an advert for it once. A luxury solution to all your time synchronization needs. Enjoy equally leisurely hours together, or some shite like that. Oh, 'tis quite unlike thee, Sir Heathcliff, to use so many complicated words in a sentence. Pray, shall someone explain it in plainer language? Ah. Is an apparatus for equalizing the velocity of time for all those affected individuals under the TT4 protocol's influence. Ah, forsooth! I thought it quite odd how someone so affluent in time was moving and speaking at the same speed as the rest of us. Then, with this information, it can be concluded that the time we have experienced within the manor was flowing at a faster rate than the world outside. That is a coherent explanation as to why the evening newspaper, instead of the morning newspaper, was issued. Good. Now that your curiosity is sated, I don't suppose anyone has any issues with tackling a new job. The LCA has sent us a new request to track down a distortion. As for more detailed information... So, activating my ability within the TT4 protocol caused... yes, indeed. It was akin to tampering with an already accelerated flow of time. From an outsider's point of view, it would have appeared as though more time than what was actually spent was leaked. This bloke knows what he's talking about. Also, you didn't just manipulate time on a personal scale. Like I said earlier, you affected the flow of time within a physical space. Let me remind you that it wasn't even a static field. It moved all over that manor. Honestly, this situation is completely unprecedented. Right. They used to activate only on special occasions, like when we had plenty of guests over for a visit, because it was so bloody pricey. So the time tax for your inflated tax bracket multiplied by the surtax per volume from the physical space covered by that temporal manipulation. Yeah, no wonder it all adds up to this insane number. Ain't like we knew something like this would happen. Well, anyway, you have 2 payment options to settle this time tax debt. Well, options? What options? It ain't like we got bags of 10 billion on grown from a tree, innit? Option 1, cash payment. Option 2, time payment. Yeah, about that. What's that supposed to mean anyway, paying with time? It means, oh. The employee who was about to answer our question with painfully observable annoyance suddenly jolted at the sound of an alarm. Understood. I just got a call that they're ready to hold the emergency meeting regarding this incident. Limbus Company may send 2 individuals to the meeting to represent your company. No need to tick-tock and fuss, Dante. Dealing with complicated matters like this meeting is one of my responsibilities, and I'm also gonna bring Faust. I will be joining them to discuss the possible solutions to this incident, so please keep the sinners under control. Except you, Miss Faust. You're with me. Understood. Make another mess while I'm gone, and only Ryoshu will enjoy what comes next. Keep that in mind as you wait. Well, off they go, I guess? Didn't even give us the chance to ask them any more questions. They're just leaving us here like this? But isn't this whole mess basically about what'll happen to us? So, this isn't anything serious, but what's Marceau doing in the on the gallows? What? Marceau, what are you doing up there? I was told to stand here, so I have done so. Who told you to do that? I did. I was just trying to be helpful with you and your friend's little time tax problem. I thought all employees were supposed to be in an emergency meeting? Whoa, a clock with legs. How fascinating. If someone were to submit you for consideration at the upcoming expo, you might be worth a participation trophy. You remind me of the time when some hapless soul submitted a timepiece that doubled as a compass that had a rather tragic and critical design flaw. You could tell the time or find your path, but never both at once. Tell directions or tell time. It was the one thing or the other, leaving you lost in time and stranded in the streets. That was no good, not at all. That's no better than a clock taped to a compass at the end of the day, isn't it? Oh right, TT52 protocol is operating at the experimental capacity within this office space, so don't you forget, anyone not synced with the daily standard time might find this a little disorienting, so keep that in mind as well. What? Now that's a look of someone who has never once heard of the TT52 protocol, eh? The TT52 protocol, as its name suggests, is an invention to address the temporal efficiency problem present in the TT4 protocol. It's doing test runs in only a few select T-Corp offices, so if you ever feel the urge to leave your impressions on this new shiny thing, feel free to jot down a few words on that bulletin. Wait a minute, who wrote that 3-star review? Yeah, I'm trying to read it as fast as possible. The man, who we presume to be a T-Corp staff, seemed very adept at holding a one-sided conversation with zero external input. Not that any of us could keep up with how fast he was speaking, anyway. Anyways, if you're ready, let's get cracking. I am ready. Wait, I don't know if it's really a good idea to be ready for something that looks like the rope extending from the intimidating machine tightened around Marceau's throat. Is this what it means to pay our time tax with time? Getting hanged from the gallows? Please call it by its precise and given name. Temporal scale gallows. It measures the exact time you owe and owe, the exact amount of time you owe, and sucks that time right out of you. That wasn't the original name, mind you. It was simply too much hubbub and hullabaloo about its excessively long name, which is approximately 58 words, or letters. Can someone ask him what'll happen to Marceau? Is that thing going? Is that fucking Hubert? Kill him? Nonsense. She's a very gentle machine. That's simply preposterous. However, Mr. Hubert. However, spoken in such a manner, oft pretends that events of greater ill fortune shall befall us. I'm not so sure as what might happen, actually. I suppose it'll tuck 10 billion ons worth of time out of your friend? Stop being obtuse. What is that even supposed to mean? Is he gonna be stuck like that for 10 billion hours or something? What? Well, not exactly. Let me tell you about T Corp's particularly generous system called the 4-hour daily minimum time guarantee policy. How generous, hmm? Even when the worst comes to worst, every citizen is entitled to the right to enjoy a minimum of 4-hour days. According to the T Corp Public Welfare Council, 4 hours is the absolute minimum number of hours in a day to guarantee human survival. Survive being the key word here. My, sucking 10 billion and 40 million ons worth of time from your friend was too much, I suppose. Looks like it says measurement area. That rarely ever happens. Wait, you pulled the lever when you didn't even know it was going to happen? Just out of curiosity? Oh, of course, 10 billion on of times tax debt is a historically unprecedented amount of debt, so I had to see what would happen. You could land first place in a lottery and you still wouldn't even come close to making 10 billion on, and that's before taxes. I'd say you all belong in the Museum of History if I'm being honest. Besides, I haven't even seen anyone with more than 150 hours in time tax debt willingly step up to the gallows before. Anyone beyond that usually chooses to run and digs themselves into an even deeper debt hole. Point is, I scarcely expected someone in a 10 billion on times tax hole just to walk up there like that. Ugh. So many words. What is wrong with this guy? Awaken, Marceau. Prithee, surrender not to such machinery. Huh. The heart's unharmed? I am alright. Why don't you get down from the gallows for now, Marceau? Virgilius and Faust, who returned just as this incident occurred, were both glaring at us with expressions that were anything but friendly. God damn it, dude. Mr. Hubert. Okay, I can clearly see that you're both accusing me of letting the sinners run wild again, but we had our reasons. We had reached an agreement. And you explained things to them then? Please tell me that the agreement doesn't involve us collectively dangling from that stupid gallows. A 10 billion on is certainly an absurd amount of money, but that doesn't change the fact that we are still responsible for it. We did benefit from the extra time it granted us, and its use was something that wasn't mutually agreed upon before our unilateral activation. Because it was an unexpected event, no countermeasures could be put in place either. Yeah, but we didn't exactly have a whole lot of time to debate whether I was allowed to slow down time or not. We really had to think on our feet back then. I felt a bit miffed about being treated as though I was somehow at fault for this. If you plan to sacrifice one of us to settle the debt, I request that you evaluate our worth based on individual merit. I have prepared performance evaluation sheets for each sinner precisely for one such occasion. On the last pages of those evaluation sheets are extra opinions that I don't plan on leaving any of you behind to take the fall for the group. Besides, 10 billion on isn't the kind of money that you can settle with the sacrifice of an individual. But we did eventually find a reasonable compromise while you were wasting your time horsing around in front of the gallows. And that compromise is... we have been contracted to deal with the distortion. I guess we're really starting to put our names out there as if they specifically sought us out to deal with this distortion. They have sought out other fixers and companies to deal with this issue first. We were their sixth choice after the first 5 failed to produce a meaningful result. Gotcha. Well, the stories are starting to circulate via word of mouth, I will not deny that. So, what kind of distortion are we dealing with this time? This is a request regarding a series of similar unsolved cases within T-Corp's borders. Some call it the case of time-killing time. Several people have already fallen victim to the perpetrator. The case of time-killing time. It is exactly what it says on the tin. A distortion is running wild, killing our time. Time is an asset here at T-Corp. It is not so difficult for us to track down the occasional time robberies by tracing it, but in the case of time-killing time, the killer does not leave any traces. It is simply gone, completely removed and untraceable. No such thing has ever happened here before, thus the significance of this case cannot be emphasized enough. That is why we formally request that you solve this case for us. In return, we will exempt you from your time tax debt. Thus arriveth once again my time to shine. According to a book I have perused in recent days, any and all detectives working to solve the cases of urban nightmare or beyond are issued a special investigator badge during the course of their employment. 'Tis a badge that may as well be a universal path to command all kinds of aid regarding the detectives fixers. We plan to issue you those badges, yes. She just vibrated. Much have I longed to add one such badge to my collection. Perchance thou shalt allow us to keep the badges once this case is dealt with. Nay, I demand that I be rewarded with at least 3 badges, one for my private collection, one for display, and one for business, so that... Shut it, lass. Right? What are we waiting for? Let's crack on. Whack this distortion, get the hell out of here. I hate dealing with the money problems. I value your enthusiasm, but I would also appreciate it if you would allow others to finish their sentences before cutting them off and going on a long tangent of your own. The problem is, they don't want all 13 of you running amok in effort to solve the case. Indeed, I can't have your entire group run wild in the streets and potentially waste the precious time of our residents. Also, the special investigator badge isn't something that T-Corp hands out like candy. We can't give away a whole box of badges for all 13 of them. I concur to a good degree. Otis, who has continuously and consistently suggested that we cut down the number of sinners, was the first one to welcome this offer. We should have done something like this a long time ago. What use is there in hauling around these deadweights? We will leave the useless pawns behind to wait in the bus while the elite team of high-performing individuals take care of business. You seem rather confident that you'd be a part of that elite team of high-performing individuals, Otis. It's ridiculous to even suggest otherwise. Alright, enough with your nonsense. So, how many of us are allowed to work on this case anyway? I assume 3. Virgilia's trained law, clearly unhappy about this outcome. They have decided that 4 individuals, including the manager, is an appropriate amount of people to allowed to partake in this investigation. That's not a lot. Accepted. We barely managed to get the authorization for 4 after much debate. Then you have wasted your breath. A tag team of the executive manager and I will be more than enough to handily complete this message. Right. So it all comes down to my choice, huh? 3 sinners. So many eyes are upon me. Not that I've ever had them all look at me at the same time before, but the pressure is on a completely different level when it comes to making judgment calls like these. Looks like the manager is deep in thought, but pointlessly agonizing over something like this is a waste of time. I'm taking volunteers first, so let's see some hands. Quickly now. Of course. Forsooth, I shan't hesitate before such excellent opportunity. Maybe it's my time to shine? Oh, I don't even need to ask me, alright? Let's get on with it. Oh, nah, that wasn't... I'm not raising my hand. I'm just cleaning my glasses. This is no simple matter. I've not been with so few sinners before, except for that one time when we accidentally walked into the outskirts through the back door. So I have to take this slow and really consider all possible angles. What a mess. It'd be too much trouble for me to list and debate all the arbitrary limitations they set, so allow me to make the choices for you this time, Dante. Well, I don't think there's too big of a gap between them when it comes to their capabilities, but they all excel in different situations. Dante, are you listening? I just said that I will be the one to choose your companions. No, I need to consider more than just their individual capabilities. Some of them work better when paired together, but it's also true that haphazardly pairing them together might end up making a team less than the sum of its parts. This is all about building team synergy. Wait, didn't Rodier say something about how people born in December and August don't mesh well together? And the sinners who will accompany Dante to solve this case are... I have to choose someone who can support me, calmly assess the situation, and remain free from biased judgment while making smart, rational decisions on the fly. The sinners who fit that description are... Do we have anyone like that? I still have to choose someone, though. Damn it, I've got it. I choose Faust, Marceau, and Yisang. Rodion, Roshi, Ryoshu, and Hangwu. Oh my god. Wait, huh? Dante has selected me, Marceau, and Yisang. Haven't you been listening, Dante? I have certain things to discuss with Miss Faust regarding our upcoming journey, so she was not an option. Yiseng was immediately ruled out even before the meeting adjourned due to his history of developing an unauthorized invention at T-Corp. Marceau did not volunteer. There was no reason to volunteer. Though I may have been disallowed from joining this investigation, I am truly grateful for your appreciation, Dante. I shan't soon forget this. Thank you, Yiseng. Wait, that's Hey, Otis, you know that's not all that I meant. Just thought that maybe we needed someone skilled and experienced like you to effectively manage the remaining sinners while we're... okay. Man. I really soured the mood, didn't I? 3 of them, who I didn't even imagine in my wildest dreams would be hanging out together, all turned to look in my direction. Whoa, just the 3 of us, huh? A trio is such an eye-catching number, isn't it? Rodian, I get, but why did the 2 of you volunteer? I thought it sounded FAH. Greater the quantity and diversity of experience, the better it is. Don Quixote tragically drops her head to the ground, crestfallen. I have naught else to play but my slightly lower vertical placement in this world. Indeed, that must be why Sir Virgilius had failed to catch mine impassioned hand. Don Quixote sobbed, dramatically lamenting how Virgilius did not even bat an eye in her direction, despite her being the first one to raise their hand. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the only reason he didn't pick her, though. 'Tis my final legacy I bestow upon thee. What's all this? A book? A magnifying glass? And are these clothes? Slightly lower vertical placement, yeah. So she's vertically challenged. 'Tis my treasure, my collection. Prithee, be gentle with them. Oh, but why are you carrying 3 sets of clothing? 1 for my private collection, 1 for display, and 1 for business, verily. Is that not obvious to thee? Records of Investigation, Solutions to the 13 Problems by Agatha... Huh, somebody's autographed it. So who's this Agatha? Why, how are ye so also ignorant in the lore of fixers? Once she was a grade 1 fixer who was so prolific that she may as well have been the face of the 7 Association. Truly, no one? Most people don't know these lore, Don Quixote. Agatha Christie. Murdered novelist. Cumbersome clothes. How wilt thou call thyself an ace detective when not dressed appropriately for the occasion? Here, here, 'tis only right that the leading ace detective adorn her countenance with this special mustache. Look, Lady Agatha says in the foreword to this book that any self-respecting ace detective must always dress themselves in an impeccable fashion. Don Quixote, I just let go. So, I mean, I'm sure everyone has their reasons, but how come you didn't get picked for this, Ishmael? Didn't get picked? I never volunteered. It is stupid. Hey, it's not every day you get a legitimate chance to get some free paid time off without breaking company rules. I wasn't about to let that chance slip. Thanks, Ishmael. I guess I did have some last minute regrets when I saw who Virgilius picked, but I'll relax for a bit and jump in to help him when needed. Well, good luck, Will. Call us the Elite Four. How's that? While the self-proclaimed Elite Four runs around T-Corp, why don't we find a place to take the edge off and unwind? How unfortunate. T-Corp did not authorize the rest of the sinners to abound unmonitored. You must understand that we simply cannot let individuals responsible for 10 billion worth of time tax run free without proper collateral. Looks like they have temporary lodgings for those who have failed to pay their time tax. Virgilius was pointing out what was clearly a jail cell. Are you certain that's the lodging guide? I'm going to jail? Yep, his living collaterals apparently. It'll be fun, hey. Bet you'll look fondly back at this memory when it's all said and done, okay? We'll be right back, so be nice and stay put. Nice, this jail cell at least has some heating. Wait, what happens if they just leave and don't come back? We'll be seeing him again after 10 billion ons worth of time passes, I guess. What? Ryoshu's wearing a mustache. That's so fucking awesome. Hey, wait, get back here. That's more than enough time to finish weaving on the loom. Calm down, all right? We'll be back before you even... Thou shalt return triumphantly as a glorious band of ace detectives. Mark my words. We set off on our journey after receiving the aforementioned special investigator badges, leaving the chaotic and screaming and hollering of the remaining sinners behind. After a while, all we could hear was the sad intermittent clattering of metal as someone violently shook the steel bars. All right, looks like everyone's ready then. Let's get a move on and have a little chat with the third victim. Let's see, the caseworker could say that, there it is. It's just a stone's throw away. That guy could definitely be the murderer. What do you mean, huh? Look at the record. It clearly states that neither of the first two victims is in a communicative state. How unfortunate. I mean, why are you coming along with us? I'm sorry, but we're not taking sidekick applications right now. Go away. Shoot. Incorrect. One of us will be joining your team. We were going to send an employee with you so that we can receive immediate updates regarding your investigation progress. Pull that stick out of your ass. We plan to send a Class 2 staff with you, but you're... Me? Class 5. See the badge? Chatterbox of an employee replied cheerfully as he produced a twinkling badge from his clothes. I apologize for failing to recognize you, sir. I scarcely expected to see a Class 5 auditor all the way down here. That guy's a Class 5 staff? Really? Class 5 is the highest rank one could reach as a wing employee, right? Yeah, I thought so too. Well, don't be so sure. It depends on which wing you are talking about. Who knows? Maybe there are Class 12 or even Class 20 employees out there. Get it? Got it? Good. Then let's move on. We stared in complete silent bafflement at the employee who had already stormed out of the building and hurriedly followed him out the door. Isn't it absolutely brilliant? The very concept of killing time. They're not slowing down or speeding it up, they're eliminating it completely. Just yanking it out of circulation. So, your name is... Mai? Relax and call me however you want. Names are such unimportant things, aren't they? No, names matter. Really? You never call anyone by their names, though. Relax and call you however we want, but you're obviously here to be our handler. That's true. That does make things a tad awkward, doesn't it? Let me think. I've got it. You're all just like detectives. Why don't you consider me your ever-helpful assistant who tags along with your adventures? Okay, but still... Ryoshu, who is staring off into the distance while puffing her cigarette, suddenly spoke up just as Rodeo was about to retort. Assistant, lead us. Right away, ma'am. What's the difference between an assistant and a servant? You know, my family used to employ. They sure warmed up to him fast. He could, like, very easily be the killer. He is taking a nap. Let's see, the third victim of this case is this watch factory's. Hold up. The obviously gaudy and expensive suit, the meticulously trimmed and shaved mustache. The third victim must be the owner of this factory. Assistant, confirm my deductions. You're right on the money, detective. We're off to a great start. Ahem. We are detectives working on the case of time-killing time. My name is... what's going on? Ryoshu, detective. He sure is a fast talker. He's talking way faster than Merceau did when he reviewed those chickens. He's talking so fast. It's like someone pressed a fast forward button in him or something. I can't understand a thing coming out of his mouth. He's someone who has a lot of time. What's that supposed to mean? An average T-Corp citizen has about 20 to 28 hours in a day, but you might also run into someone like him, people with plenty of time to spare, because they have so much surplus time they can afford to condense 40, 50 hours into a single day. And to people with fewer hours in a day, it'll look as if he's moving 2-3 times faster than them. Someone with that much time can pick their nose in the blink of an eye before anyone even has the chance to catch them in the act. Gave Rhodia a quick look of concern. She had to do something before. Quick look, as in a brief flicker of the flames burning on my clock. Would you mind slowing down a bit? I'm just worried that you're at serious risk of becoming a victim of a completely different, slightly more fatal crime. He shook his head in frustration, very rapidly, that is, before activating what appeared to be a voice recorder. It began to play his voice back at us. Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name's Bumble, a proud proprietor of this watch factory. Apologies for this awkward method of communication. You see, my days are 52 hours long. I used to live a 100 hours days in my heyday, but the things have taken a turn for the worse at the factory in the recent years. 52 hours? To me, it looks as though you're all talking very, very slowly. I must say, it's quite frustrating, but I am willing to suffer this annoyance as long as you can solve this case. You have 52 whole hours to spend in a single day? Gee, I can't even imagine what that'd be like. Oh, I can tell you if you're curious. It's a very full life, I must say. Having more time to spend in a day means he's I'm trying to do an Obama voice, but I'm not good at Obama impressions. Like sleeping 10 or more hours in a day and having more than 40 hours left to spend. Good sleep really is the key to keeping your skin moist and fresh, indeed. I'll let you touch it if you want. Though in an effort to demonstrate, Bumble was constantly zooming around the room, checking his documents, calling someone on the phone, and even brushing his teeth while we stood there listening to his recordings. I don't care, get to the point. It was one late evening. Let's see, like always, I was busily walking down the street. I had a very, very important meeting to attend to, you know. And all of a sudden, an attack. No, I just happened to recall that I left the bacon on the kitchen counter at home. I should have left it covered with District 23's purple salt. My second oldest aunt used to sprinkle that salt all the time. The point. Well, so I stopped briefly looking at the clock tower and wondering if I should head back home to salt that bacon. And that's when the Time Ripper struck. It's Jack the Ripper. The clock tower? Each one of the 12 zones at T-Corp has a clock tower that displays A-Corp's standard time scale. Because everyone has different hours to spend in a day, their watches sync with their respective time scales as well. So to tell the real objective time, one would have to check the clock tower. That's pretty neat. Alright, you two, let's focus on the important stuff. Let's see, how about we start with a physical description? Well, a fine, tailored suit. tailored suit, a bit fancy for someone called the Time Ripper, don't you think? Must cost me about 58 million on. Of course, since it was tailor-made, its comfort was beyond human imagination. Wait, what? Oh, and how could I forget the impressive yet keenly shaped mustache? Hey, I wasn't talking about your own physical description. One more chance until I sink. Oh, you mean the murderer's appearance? Well, let me think. I don't recall anything. It just happened so fast that... How did it feel to have your own time killed? Was it painful? Can you not ask something like that with such a big grin on your face? Nope, it was just 100 hours was gone in the blink of an eye. Missed my very important appointment thanks to that. I'll have you know, I suffered so much damages. 100 hours? So you lost a whole week in the blink of an eye? Nope, 100 hours for me is just 2 days or so. Still, you have no idea how much I lost because of those 2 days. Ripping away time, huh? An invention that enables something like that would certainly win the Inventor of the Year award and loads of prize money that comes up with it. T-Corp really values and supports its inventors, you know? Some people say that once upon a time, T-Corp's executive director himself showed up to bestow the awards. Guess once an inventor is always an inventor. I said he probably wanted to carry others to carry his inquisitive spirit. I've seen the ceremony once and he was giving away autographs. But maybe we're looking for an inventor who received an award for that tech assistant? But every invention at T-Corp needs to be registered at the Technology Administration Agency, though it is not without a few exceptions. There was once a time when a rogue group of inventors called the League of Nine Literatures made some inventions that they neglected to register. And well, what a mess that was. Every single corner of T-Corp was up in arms, everyone dashing about in a panic, making arrests, holding important meetings while It was that big of a deal? I can imagine how hard it must have been for Yi Sang. All right. So, is there anything like that registered in T-Corp's tech agency? Nope. First time hearing about anything like it. You could have started there, you know. What if this is a power granted by a distortion? Meanwhile, Ryoshu, who's completely uninterested in the conversation, stared off into the building in the distance. She looked out the factory window and let another puff of smoke before muttering quietly to herself. No killer, no corpses. Well, yeah. No one's actually dead, and we don't know where the killer is. Who could it be, I wonder? Someone who took a liking to my very expensive suit, I say. Disagree. Your suit's shit! Aw! Besides, if I really wanted to kill you. Me? Why would you? I'd have to be able to move as fast as you do. I won't be able to get a good aim at your vitals otherwise. Ryoshu strode toward him before suddenly breaking into a charging sprint. Bumble rapidly stumbled back in terror, but Ryoshu was fast enough to close the distance and press her scabbard into his neck despite the disparity in time. Just like this. Whoa, I thought she was actually about to beat the crap out of him with that scabbard. That'd be case closed then, All we have to do is arrest Ryoshu. He scared the heck out of me, Well, I suppose the villain didn't really stab me in my vitals or whatever, but he did appear all of a sudden just like you did. See, so the killer isn't just running around ripping time away from random people left and right. Yes, the killer was going specifically for that ass. The void left behind by Sinclair's absence was much bigger than I'd thought. I meant that annoying, stupid stash. Not having that kid here is frustrating. Can you tell of a single person who'd hate someone like me? I can think of more than a few. I'd say that it must have been the work of some bandit who wanted to try on my tailored suit. What about your employees? Lady Agatha's book says to find the culprit, we must first look at the victim's immediate circle. I have no idea if that book Don Quixote gave us earlier is actually helping, but I suppose it's at least a very good page-turner. Honglu can't seem to be able to tear his eyes away from it. Maybe I should check it out too once we get back to the bus. Yeah, that works. Then the culprit has to be someone who hates the owner so much enough to try to take away his time. Nah, that seems quite implausible, as you see. What? The laborers at this factory, they are all working so slowly, like they're moving through molasses. Most factory laborers like them usually live rather short 10-hour days, most of which they spend at their factory jobs anyway. What did you say? Listen up, everyone. Our output saw only 13% growth compared to last month's growth. Have I not impressed upon you how important this is? We'll be falling behind profit margin projections at this rate. Bumble hollers at them in frustration. The laborers very, very slowly turn their heads to look up at the factory owner, even that simplest action taking an excruciatingly long time to complete. Phew, how bothersome. Less complaining, more assembling. Use our time effectively. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You have no idea how frustrating it has been for me as of late. Do you even know the next batch of cogs have stopped all of a sudden? I could understand him thanks to the recorder next to us, but everyone out of its earshot would have no chance of understanding whatever he's talking about. Hey, Mr. Bumble, you're talking way too fast for them to understand, you know that? How do you expect them to understand a thing you're saying? It's not me who's too fast, it's them who are too slow. Only hustlers and busy bees like myself who make the best of their time can rise above the rest of in this chaotic, bustling city. Like, what? You know that's a load of bull. How are they supposed to hustle or make the best of their times when they're practically nailed to the floor? And with what time? Rodia, hey, I don't think someone like him will ever understand what you're talking about. He was born and raised in T-Corp, after all. Hey, assistant, you're a Class 5 employee, right? Are you supposed to be a big shot? Do you seriously think there's anything normal about all this? Normal? Dear detectives, do you happen to be returning from a round trip across every single nest in the city, all the way from A to Z? Can you confidently say that you've seen all there is to see? No, not really, but... Then give this idea a thought, why don't you? That the notion of what is normal is just a mirage conjured by the downtrodden and the suffering? That is to say that suffering is part of the life in the city, regardless of which nest you're in. I don't see any suffering in that mug of Mr. 50-hour days right there. Such harsh words! I'll have my share of pain, I'll have you know. I've been waiting for something to get finished for a while. Do you know how much pain it is to wait for something, but also have too much time in your day? It's so tedious! Bumble gently fixed his mustache and hair before caressing his expensive coat with care. Alright. Okay. Okay. Ooh, a battle. Yeah. Does this have any does this have any story, any text I have to do? 'Cause if it does, I might just like maybe. All right.
와, 기대되네요.
Alright, I'm just going to, okay, maybe we can flip the script on our line of thought. What kind of people, Rhodia, do you think hate rich people? Who do you think would hate people like me? Well, except for my family. If I do ever get murdered under mysterious circumstances, I'm willing to bet it's one of my family members who did me in. Or Heathcliff. That's a pretty dark joke. The culprit went straight for Bumble, but his employees literally can't move fast enough to have done that. None of them look like distortions either. Yes, if the culprit's hiding among those slowpokes, Clock would have noticed it. Hongwu, my beloved. That narrows the culprit down to someone unrelated to this factory, someone without much time, someone who's got a bone to pick against the time rich. Or it could be that someone who's unhappy about the state of affairs in T-Corp Nest. Also, while Dante could be right that this power is granted by a distortion, nothing rules out the possibility that they may be using an unregistered invention. There may be more than a single culprit then. More than a single culprit, huh? Wait, I think I know an organization that might fit that exact description. Nah, no way. I doubt it. They don't ever take drastic actions like these anymore, even back at J-Corp. Wow, that's some coincidence, isn't it? I happen to know of a group of people just like them. Sometime later, in a certain alleyway. A group of people unhappy with the state of affairs in the nest? Perhaps you are looking for the Eurodivier? Ah, that rings a bell. Isn't your friend the founder of that organization, Roja? Yeah, I remember them. Rodia stopped dead in her tracks. Eurodivier? Here. Do you know something about that organization? I did hear that they've been spreading through the nests as of late, though it hasn't been long since they started popping up within T-Corp's borders. So direct T-Corp employees like myself have been stationed all over the nest to question any suspicious individuals. He thinks it's a real bother, standing guard here, all this stop and search, so tedious. So what are the Eurodivia up to around here? All kinds of stuff that petty thieves get up to, stealing things like time or money. Well, I did hear they also tried some pro bono detective work for people who can't afford the time or money to hire people and... Wait, stop right there, you. What are you looking around all shifty for, huh? It's a stop and search. Hey, I'm just trying to walk away from that lady with the cig and the creepy glare. Where can we find them? Well, it probably ain't too difficult. Let's see, there. Hong Lu. A sudden explosion tore Hong Lu to shreds as he was peeking around an alleyway. Speaking of the devil, maybe I should have activated their badges earlier. Activated our badges? Starting off with a bang, huh? Good luck, Dante. Let's bring him back. Gotcha, turning the clock now. Wait, you can bring him back? There, the explosion came from that way. Damn. Watch chains of T-Corp here to collect your filthy dues, huh? Okay, no time to explain, right? Let's talk about that later.
뭐야?
Oh, we're outnumbered.
파이팅이다. 이 사건에 궁금한 점이 생기셨나요?
Huh. That's fun.
직접 타도하죠.
So I assume this is the time-killing time ID for Hong Lu.
A에 거스르지 말고. 이런 건 몽둥이가 약이지. 두드려 패.
Alright. Battle's not too hard. Ah.
그래. 결국 마지막까지 서 있는 놈이 이기는 거라니까. 잘 들어. 아픈 거 생각하지 말고 저 새끼 죽은 다음만 생각해. 공격이 더 매서워지거든.
Bam. Bam. Oh, damn. Not even dead. Okay. Okay. 3 turns. Alright, after this, I think I'm gonna stop because I'm getting a little bit sleepy. And also, last week, we had a really long stream. So I think I'm gonna be a little bit short. Okay. See you. Good night, moon. Good night, sun, possibly.